Yes, ma'am.
I was hoping a woman would get to speak.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so I actually have many questions, but I probably only get one.
Make it a good one.
Well, I hope it's good. So the Perry shooting really rocked me. I think probably everybody in this room. As an Iowan, as a resident of the largest and most diverse school district in the state, Des Moines Public Schools, as a mom to 2 kids, as an aunt to a non-binary youth, as the aunt of a former Kentucky swimmer who was a teammate of Riley Gaines, when nearly 1 in 5 transgender individuals are aged 13 to 17, how do we reconcile how Iowa will use the mental health funds when you look at how Governor Reynolds aligns with Ron DeSantis? And I so appreciate your stance on this issue. It's something that's incredibly near and dear to my heart and so important because it is woven into the tapestry of every social issue that I am very passionate about. I'm a lifelong Democrat, and I'm so proud to be supporting you, and I sure hope our state does not elect Donald Trump. It will make me sick. So.
Okay, so that was a lot. So no. So let's kind of, I just want to make sure I touch the individual parts. Let's go to Perry first because I know without even asking you, the second that went up on TV, every one of our hearts fell. It doesn't matter what state it's in. You feel it. And I feel it because we had a school shooting in South Carolina. It was in a tiny, sweet town called Townville that you just never heard any news from. It was quiet. It was sleepy. It was patriotic. It was just good people. And there was a teenager that was troubled, that shot his dad, and then went to an elementary school and started shooting at a playground. And little 6-year-old Jacob Hall was shot. He loved superheroes. And that night, I was in the hospital with his parents and praying with them. And they didn't know how bad it was. And he died 2 days later. I will never forget that feeling. And I don't want any parent to ever feel that. And I have a mom heart. My son-in-law is a 5th grade elementary school teacher. I worry about him. My daughter is a pediatric nurse at the Children's Hospital. I worry about her. My son is a senior on a college campus. I worry about him. So if we want to stop seeing this on TV, we got to do the hard things, not the easy things, the hard things. And the hard things are we have got to acknowledge the cancer that is mental health. 1 in 3 people have a mental health issue, but if treated, they can live a perfectly normal life. The problem is we don't have enough therapists in this country. We don't have enough mental health centers. And if you don't get help, you can fall into addiction. We don't have enough addiction centers. And if you happen to be lucky to get one of those 3, insurance doesn't cover any of it. So what are we really doing to stop it? Because 80% of mass shooters have been found that they were going through a mental health crisis when it happened. So when I told you again that we're going to move those federal funds down, the reason you move them down is because you want to be able to make sure that the states know best what support they need and where. How they can take those mental health funds and make sure they're mental health centers. How they can make sure they incentivize to get more therapists. How we can go and focus on that. I'll work on healthcare to make sure things are covered. But we have to go and make sure that we really address it for the cancer it is. We're losing so many people every day because everybody just says, oh yeah, mental health. No, we have more young people now with anxiety, stress, and depression than we've seen in a long time. We have to treat it like a cancer. The second thing with our schools, if everybody goes to all this trouble to secure an airport and secure a courthouse, why are we not securing schools? Why don't they have the... Why don't our schools have bulletproof glass? Why don't we make sure there's only one mode of entry? No side entries, no back entries. Why don't we make sure that there is a law enforcement officer at the front of every school, private or public? Why don't we make sure that instead of just a guidance counselor, we have a mental health specialist in every school to spot those kids that are struggling and catch it before it gets to a bad place? There are things we can do, but we got to be willing to do the hard stuff to get the permanent solutions. I'm a concealed weapons permit holder myself. Every person has the right to protect themselves and protect their families. The easy thing would be, oh, let's get rid of this gun or that gun. But guess what? You turn on the TV next week and you'd see another shooting. Do the hard work, do the right work, and let's get that part done.